This is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Over 2 million men worldwide choose Manscaped for all their below-the-waist needs. For those that love the Lawnmower 3.0, well, I got news for you. The Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they have successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. The new trimmer even allows you to customize your trim all through additional guards lengths, sizes 1 through 4. And looks-wise, it's sleek with a two-tone matte and gloss finish, even features a hot foil stamp, black chrome Manscaped logo. Show your mower off loud and proud. Go to manscaped.com, use the promo code State of Saints, and you will save 20% off of the Lawnmower 4.0 as well as other Manscaped items. That's manscaped.com. Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the Saints. 26-7 loss today at the hands of the Carolina Panthers in week 2 of the NFL season. Who Dat Nation? I'm not the one to sugarcoat anything. Y'all know that. The Saints got their ass whooped today. I'm just calling for what it is. People can talk about the offensive coaches not being there. You can talk about all the things the Saints were going through, but the Saints got whooped on today, and I'm not going to even lie about that. We can talk about every scenario you want to talk about. First off, I want to give credit to the Carolina Panthers because they were a team that showed up. They played inspired football. They played in front of their home crowd, and they went up against a team that a lot of people consider as a measuring stick of the NFC South. And the Saints were riding high, 38-3 victory over the Green Bay Packers, and they waltzed in there. And I don't know if they thought that maybe, Carolina Panthers struggled with the Jets. Maybe they just thought maybe they're not as good as we thought they were. Maybe it was the reverse of what the Green Bay Packers thought about the New Orleans Saints. We thought about the Carolina Panthers, but the Carolina Panthers were not playing with the New Orleans Saints today. Defensively, they look really good. Our offensive line looked absolutely awful. Man, it was just bad out there, man. That was like the worst offensive line performance I've seen in a very long time. I mean, Jameis Winston had really no time to throw the football. Carolina defensive line was in the backfield. I thought they were on the offensive line. But it also shows us Who Dat Nation. I think that this game today shows us and shown us how important Drew Brees was to this football team. A lot of times we talk about Drew Brees' arm strength, not getting the ball past 20 yards, not being able to do some of the things that some of these good arm talent quarterbacks can do. But what he couldn't do, he made up for his decision-making, his ability to dissect coverages, and that paid dividends. I left this game believing, real talk, was this offensive line as good as we thought it was, or was Drew Brees just as good as we thought? Maybe it was Drew Brees not taking sacks, throwing the ball away, throwing the ball at Alvin Kamara's feet. Maybe those numbers can get a little bit skewed. And maybe sometimes we're looking at the offensive line differently because of the greatness of Drew Brees. What I saw today was deer in headlights. I'm talking about from Cesar Ruiz, whose job is for him to call like the protections and the coverages and stuff like that, and what the defense is trying to do. And I seen Jameis Winston didn't look like he knew what he was doing. And I also seen what I like to think is the blueprint to beat the modern day New Orleans Saints. And that is jump on them quick and try to get Jameis Winston to beat you. I mean, that may sound crazy to some people, but that's what it is. Like, I can see teams in the future trying to jump on Jameis Winston. I mean, jump on the Saints quick in order for Jameis Winston to try to beat them, because they realize that Jameis Winston tries to play hero ball. You know, I think he tried to play hero ball today. And even though, you know what I'm saying, we've seen some good things last week, in games like this, it just shows teams that all you have to do is get a lead and Jameis is going to resort back to what he was. So the Saints are going to have to do something about that. You know, I'm not going to knock Jameis Winston too bad, because, I mean, I understand where he was coming from as far as trying to make plays. Were the throws terrible? Absolutely. But I understand him trying to make a play. But that offensive line was terrible. And when the offensive line is not blocking for a quarterback, it messes up the timing in his head. And he doesn't feel like he has as much time as he thinks, because the pressure has been getting to him throughout the game. And they're going to end up starting to make mistakes. The running game was absolutely non-existent. I'm looking at these stats right here, man. This is a New Orleans Saints running game. I apologize, my remote failed. But Taysom Hill had more rushing yards than Alvin Kamara and Tony Jones Jr. combined. I'm going to say that again. Taysom Hill, with 2 carries for 16 yards, had more yards than Tony Jones and Alvin Kamara combined. That tells you everything you need to know about this game. Defensively, I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of expect that. I kind of expected this type of up and down when it comes to the defense. You have a lot of guys that are relatively new to the defense, a lot of starters being out, not available to you. So I expected for them to kind of struggle a little bit. But the defense was on the field way too long. It's hot out there. They rocking black. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know that black attracts heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about 90 some odd degrees out there in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the defense is on the field, man. It's eventually, you know what I'm saying, it's about the battle of attrition at that particular time. So the fact that the defense held up the way the offense played today is just a testament of how good this defense, you know, could be, you know, but they just got worn down. I like some things that I've seen out of some members of the defense. Peyton Turner made his NFL debut, and he had a sack. You know, he also had a tackle for loss. He was pretty good, man, and the lights weren't too bright for him. So that was a positive thing. The secondary, you know, Paulson and Debo, he had up and down game, but he has a lot of greatness. To me, he has a lot of greatness inside of him. I just think with the matter of him growing as a pro, getting some more NFL experience, he'll be just fine. But this was just one of the worst games I've ever seen in the Sean Payton Saints team, on the Sean Payton Saints team. I think they total yards, I think it was like the worst in his 16 years of being a coach. Like, that was absolutely downright pathetic. And hopefully we never see that again. You know, like, this game right here, just one game with 2 games into the season. I'm not going to jump off the cliff. I'm not going to act like all hope is lost, because that would be hypocritical of me, because last week we felt like we was on our way to the Super Bowl. We act like we wasn't going to be undefeated. So, look, it was a bad game. Burn the tape after you watch it. Learn from your mistakes. Keep it moving. But, man, it was only a matter of time before all of those injuries and different adversities caught up with the Saints. And today was the day. Today was the day. I'll read a few of your comments, and then we'll go ahead and open up the phone line, see what you all have to say about the game. I'm not gonna talk too long, you know, about this. Overall, good game for Peyton Turner. Yeah, Peyton Turner had a good game, bounce back next week. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game versus New England, man. It's going to be a tough game. Jameis Winston are constantly throwing incomplete passes for a couple of times at the time. For real, this is so disputed and displayed. Well, look, Jeremiah, look, I want to say this, though, since we talking about Jameis Winston and incomplete passes. I think the New Orleans Saints wide receiver group, I really think they need some help. Not to say that those guys aren't good, not to say that those guys don't have talent, but man, you know what I'm saying? This is the second week in a row where the wide receivers were like non-existent. Like they were non-existent. You know what I'm saying? Like they were nowhere to be found. Callaway, nowhere to be found. Lil Jordan Humphries, nowhere to be found. Deontay Harris, nowhere to be found. The tight ends, nowhere to be found. Like this is the second week in a row these wide receivers failed to get any type of separation in order for the quarterback to get the ball to him. I'm talking consistently. Last week, Jameis was using most of the tight ends. He was using Troutman and Johnson. This is going to be an issue. That's something that I did see. That's something that I did notice. Now, if this continues, the Saints are going to be in trouble. Like, if they, you know what I'm saying, talking about Michael Thomas coming back, like, man, my goodness, they need him back in a major way. The Saints need some wide receivers that can get separation. Now, I don't know if they need to trade for it. They need to find one on the street. It's kind of going to be kind of hard for that one on the street to come and play immediately because that's not the way the Saints roll. But these wide receivers going to have to get some separation, man, because that's the big issue right here. These guys are not getting open. And you got to be able to get open for the quarterback to get you the ball. And these guys aren't getting any type of separation from what I see. For what I see, I don't see any type of separation at all, at all. But I'm about to go ahead and open up the phone lines, see what you all have to say about the game. I will say this, man, the sky is not falling to just one game, the second game of the season. So, I mean, Saints lost last year, second game of the season against the Raiders. It was a beat down a little bit. It was embarrassing, just as embarrassing as this game was. But Saints were able to bounce back. I trust the coaching staff. I trust what they have in store. But, hopefully we won't see another stinker like that because that was just downright awful. I'm going to go to Cold Saints. Cold Saints, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing all right, man.
I am so fucking mad right now. It's like I don't even know what to say. It's like we can't rely on Kamara to carry the offense every play. If we're going to win a Super Bowl, we're going to have to throw the football.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. You got to be able to throw the football, but I mean, what I seen, it seemed like we have some issues with these wide receivers getting separation. What are your thoughts on that?
Please repeat that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I said, I think the main issue is the wide receivers that we have. They're having issues getting separation. What are your thoughts on the wide receiver group?
Well, my thoughts are they do need to get more separation, and I do think Saints should try to get more help at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. But I do think the O-line's got to play better.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, I'm barely putting any blame on Jameis, but I do think he needs to scramble just a teeny bit.
Right. I just think that he was just trying to make a play, and you know what I'm saying? Like, now, don't get me wrong. Those were some terrible interceptions. Don't get me wrong. But I think that that's what teams want him to do. Like they know Jameis Winston. Like if he feel like everything is failing around him and things not going his way, he gonna try to go into that hero role and he gonna be trying to make plays. And I think that's what they want. And that's what it's gonna be. Like Saints fans, like prepare yourself. That's what it's gonna be. Teams are gonna try to jump out on the Saints early, and they're gonna dare Jameis Winston to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And they know that more times than not, that's gonna come with a fair share of turnovers. So they're gonna have to figure it out, man. Anything else?
It's not the interceptions that are making me mad. It's just other things in the game. It's like they made that so hard to even score off that turnover. Yeah. That's the main thing I'm mad about.
Right.
It's like I like Kamara, and I get offensive line's a hard position, but they're going to have to spread the offense.
Yeah. They're going to have to do something, man, because Can't have another game like this. You know, I mean, I ain't used to these type of stinkers. Like usually if the Saints lose, they lose by 3 points or maybe 5 or a go-ahead field goal in the last moments. But to get absolutely shellacked like this, I don't like what I saw, you know. And that's regardless to who's on the field. So that's something that was alarming to me. But I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, man. Look, that's the only thing that's a little bit of a shock to me. It has absolutely nothing to do with the loss because we know that the Saints can lose. It's just the fact that I'm not used to seeing them boys not give up give up a fight like that. Let me see, 10 for 101 in penalties. That's basically 7 points right there. Tyra says no offensive line, no defense. I mean, the whole game was atrocious today. And oh my God, the penalties. Unacceptable. A lot of questionable calls for sure, but too many flags on the field today. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They had a couple flags, that were thrown. But I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I didn't have a good feeling about this game, even when I did my predictions. You know what I'm saying? I had to kind of look at a certain perspective for me to pick the Saints to beat Carolina. But I never was like really confident that the Saints were going to beat these guys because I just felt like, a part of me was like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a good team, you know what I'm saying? And they're battle tested. But, you know what I'm saying? When is it going to be that game where all these problems catch up with them? And it was today. But I don't know, man. I just don't want to see another game like this again. I can accept the Saints losing, but this was just awful, man. This is like bad football team type games. This is like with bad football teams. This is how they lose. Like, this is how the Jets lose. You know what I'm saying? These are teams that don't make the playoffs lose. Good teams don't lose like that. Like, they lose, but they don't lose in that type of fashion. That was like one of those no heart, no passion, no swag, no drip type games. And that is like what teams do when they picking in the top 5. That's how they lose football games. And I'm just not used to that as a Saints fan. I'm just being real. I'm not used to that at all. White Ricky says, do you think the refs had some bad calls? Yeah, they had some bad calls, but I'm not going to say that's the reason why the Saints lost. Yeah, they had some bad calls, but I don't feel like the calls that they made in the game affected the way that the Saints played. The Saints played terrible at the beginning of the game. I'm telling you, man, like, Carolina had 7 points before I even sat down. I went to the kitchen, made myself a sandwich, and before I sat down and had, put the chips on the sandwich to crunch that mug, they were up 7-0. Like, that's how this game was. Like that. I mean, it reminded me of back in the day when Carolina had their Super Bowl run. I went to the Superdome and the Saints played Carolina, and I went to the concession stand, got some nachos. And by the time I sat down, it was 14-0. I mean, you can kind of tell the type of game that is going to be. I never felt comfortable in this game. Like, part of me, like when I started seeing Carolina like play, I was like, man, this is gonna be a rough game for the Saints. Like, I could see it. Like, I noticed it, and I wasn't sure about it. I was looking, you know what I'm saying, to see if they can improve, but nothing from what I seen in the first couple quarters like told me like, okay, the Saints are going to, rally back. It just didn't feel like one of those games, folks. I'm not gonna lie to you. Where the hell was Juwan? He was bottled up. He was bottled up because Kim last week. Look, this is the thing. If you are a player and you go out there and you score 2 touchdowns and you're going up against another team, of course that team is going to be looking at who this is and what did he do in order for him to get so open, in order for him to make plays. Well, it's out right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know Juwan Johnson can make plays in the red zone and he can make plays down the seam. But here's the thing. The Carolina Panthers, their strengths on defense is their linebacker core. That's the strength of their team. You know what I'm saying? Those guys that can run with running backs and tight ends. So those guys can cover the tight ends, cover the running backs, obviously, because Alvin Kamara was non-existent in this game. So it played a huge role. They played a huge role. That's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? They neutralized them today. Derek says this was a bad day for the Saints, especially the offense was flat, and someone needs to beat that bad habit out of Jameis. Look, that was that was not a good look. Too much hero ball once again. Hero ball get you beat, but the Saints didn't really do anything to help this cause. They didn't. They didn't, and I'm pretty sure they got a lot of Tampa Bay fans that's looking at this game like, yep. That's the Jameis that we got rid of. That's the Jameis that, what I'm saying, that when people, talk about us and laugh about us with. And I mean, honestly, man, I've never seen such a Jekyll and Hyde type performance, man. Like, I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. Like, this man throw 5 touchdowns one week and then throw 2 interceptions the next, like bad interceptions. Like, I never seen anything like this before, ever. Like, I got to think about a quarterback that I see that can give you so much, like make you feel so good and so confident as a fan, and then turn around like, man, what were you thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, can make a throw like to make you say, ooh, then make an interception, make it say, ooh. It's like the classic Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type act going on here. It's amazing, man. It's amazing how good and how bad like some of his decision making can be. Like, it's amazing. Like, this dude has a combination of elite decision making combined with like some of the worst decision making that you can ever find. Like, I don't know. Like I say, I'm not giving up on him. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think the offensive line really didn't help him out today. And if the offensive line don't help him out, he gonna get those happy feet. His timing gonna be all messed up, and then he probably gonna try to go out there and try to make something happen that ain't there. So you got to be able to help this guy out. Brees threw passes into covers whenever he got pursued. It happens. I'm not going to put it all on Winston. He had no protection all day. This is a wake-up call for everybody. Look, I ain't blaming Winston at all. Like, if I'm blaming if I'm throwing blame slices, it wouldn't be him. It wouldn't be him. Like, to be honest with you, he wasn't the reason why the Saints lost. He wasn't. I just think that he's low-hanging fruit because you have people out there that have been waiting for this guy to fail. Like, what I'm saying? You got people up there putting up, graphics and stuff like that they probably had up that they had last week, and they just waiting for this man to fail so they can put it up there. They got all these people out here that just waiting on this man to fail. That's just what it is. I'm not waiting on him to fail. I want him to succeed. I just feel like the offensive line didn't really help him out today. The running game didn't help him out today. I don't know what happened. I really don't. It seemed like it was like one of them games where it was just one of the worst performances I've seen out of this team in a very long time. A very long time. I've seen the Saints lose, but this was like hella embarrassing, like as far as how they took the field. But let's look at some of these stats, man. Let's look at some of these stats. And in the meantime, let me stroll up a little bit. I think we had a donation I need to read. This comes from Michael. Michael says, first off, thank you for the $5. Says, it was really bad all around, but I think having all the issues exposed this early will help us later on. We'll get healthy, better at the right time. Well, that happens, right? You know what I'm saying? It happens. You have those games where, it just seems like everything just goes wrong and everybody just think that you're not going to be good or you're not going to be successful, and then you bounce back from those. But I'm glad they had it early, which the Saints always do. Like, the Saints always have those stinker games early, and then they get it together. So we'll see. We're going to go to Nico. Nico, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's good, TJ?
Man, nothing much, bro, man. What thought about the game today?
This is my first time calling in. Just wanted to say, man, I watch everything you do every week. Mm-hmm. I'll be in the comments sometimes, but hey, man, what you're doing is inspirational.
I appreciate that, man. Bro. Thank you, man.
Big Saints fan, but today, man, it was all O-line. The O-line got dominated, bro.
Yeah.
From the start.
Destroyed.
The O-line, like, every play, Jameis had to duck. He had to dodge. Defenders grabbing at him. I'm like, man, what? Teron Armstead getting beat. Kamara had to help, and on defense, D-line, man, they they look good on run defense, but the pass defense, man, Darnold was doing his taxes back there. He was sitting back there calling his mama, his grandma, everybody.
Right.
I'm like, any football team is dominant, starting from their O-line and the D-line.
Right.
And I understand we had some starters out, so that's understandable. But, bruh, we need some receivers too, because when they showed one play, they showed the receivers just being covered. And I'm like, okay, Lil Jordan Humphrey, he ran a route, but he caught the ball. And I'm looking at the route that he ran, and it was rounded off like he was running track or something.
Right.
I'm like, bruh, we need MT, because Michael Thomas can open up the field to those guys. They just playing in these soft zones and doubling up and everything. So it's like these guys who are undrafted or late round draft picks, they don't have the abilities of speedsters like some of the receivers from the Chiefs, some of these other teams that got these fast receivers.
Right.
Our receivers, if you look at their times from the combine, they're not real fast guys. They're more possession receivers.
Right.
So I feel like, yes, the O-line was bad, but COVID and coaches being out is tough. But we definitely need some receivers. Hopefully, Kenny Stills, whenever he come in, he can provide some help.
Right. Yeah. I just think that even though these guys are young, they're hungry, they're good, but they're not like 1, 2, and 3 respectively. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these guys, in my opinion, will probably be a 3 on anybody's team. You know what I'm saying? 2 at best when you come to Callaway. Like these guys, there was a reason why these guys were undrafted. You know what I'm saying? And even though, they're fundamentally sound, sometimes you need that extraordinary wide receiver to be able to get that double coverage, demand that double coverage in order for these other guys to get open. And when you don't have that, and you can play man-to-man coverage, like you literally can play man coverage on every last one of these guys. And if you can play man coverage, you can blitz all day, though. You know what I'm saying? Like you can rush. You know what I'm saying? Because none of those wide receivers are going to be able to get any type of separation from these corners, jamming them the way that they are. So that's one of the main reasons what has been the issue with the Saints. And I just think it's going to be a problem going forward. I mean, by these guys not being able to get separation, it opens up limitless possibilities for defenses to be able to put pressure on Jameis Winston. And if you put pressure on him, you're going to start seeing situations like what occurred here today. So that's just the way I look at it, man. But Nico, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for your comments, and call back anytime, man. I know you said it's your first time, but don't be a stranger, man. Appreciate the love.
Yes, sir, for sure, man. Keep it up.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Shouts out to Nico, man. Shouts out to all the first time callers here, man. Thank y'all so much for making this show what it is. I appreciate that. Carla says all the wide receivers and tight ends were locked down. And like I said, when you don't have a wide receiver that demands a double team, you have situations like this. You have those games where defenses can pressure you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to worry about these receivers like getting past these cornerbacks. So the Saints definitely need a Michael Thomas or, somebody that can demand a double team until he comes back. But right now, they don't have that, man, and they're struggling. It's desperation. It's desperation mode right now for these boys. Let me see. I think this Yaro 70. Let's see. Yeah, he is. Nah, that's
it's a T.
Tilo Mac. Tilo Mac, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. So talking about the game today, what are your thoughts about the game?
I think no quarterback could have played well with circumstances played today. Hippians hit every other play.
Right.
Every receiver had no separation at all.
Mm-hmm.
We had no running game, and we were behind from the get-go.
Right.
There was nothing.
Yep. I agree.
When people blame Jameis for this one, blame him what you want, but no one could play. You could got Drew Brees in the prime. He would have got sacked every play.
Yep.
Just like
Jameis. I agree with that. I just think, like I said, at this particular point, people have their reservations about Jameis Winston, and you got some people out there that want to be proven right. Oh, I told you so. He's not all that. So anytime he doesn't have a star-studded game or he plays lackluster, oh, I told you. But you got to look at this as a whole, man. Like this was a god-awful game by the offensive line, man. The offensive line supposed to be the best part of this team. Like we haven't really even talked about this offensive line, T-Lo Mac, because the thing about it is the offensive line has always been a steady thing of the team. And this is the thing we thought that we would be leaning on as Jameis Winston transitions to being that starting quarterback. But this was just awful, man. Like, come on, man. Like, you're looking at Jameis Winston and talking about the plays that he made. I mean, when the last time you seen Alvin Kamara have 5 yards rushing, bro? 5.
I didn't even know he had that many because he got hit.
5. Thank you. 5 yards, man. Like I said, Tony Jones, Alvin Kamara, the 1 and 2, you know what I'm saying? 1 and 2 running backs combined had less yards rushing than Taysom Hill did with his 16 yards. Like, that tells you everything you need to know. So if people want to come up here and talk about Jameis Winston and, you know what I'm saying, the way he played, like, Alvin Kamara, arguably the best running back in football, had 5 yards rushing. So if you want to talk about something, we need to talk about this offensive line and how sorry they played today. That was pathetic, man.
I think the biggest concern, since the offensive line will probably get better, is the receivers. Because even last week, receivers didn't do anything. And this week, the receivers didn't do anything.
Right.
So I think that's the bigger concern.
Yeah, I agree, man. You know, I was willing to – well, I put it like this. I understood why Sean Payton did what he did. Some people, like, I seen this. I don't know. I think it might have been Merv, man. Shouts out to Merv with the black and gold owl. But he said, why didn't we go out here and try to get a wide receiver in the draft? And you know what I'm saying? But when I look at it, I understand why. Because the guys that we were going to have as 1 and 2 were hurt, right? Traquan Smith and Michael Thomas.
Correct.
So you expected Michael Thomas and Traquan Smith to at least be there on the field when you go there week 1. So when Michael Thomas got surgery late, he's not going to be there. Traquan gets hurt. So all of a sudden now you have a guy that was supposed to be the 3rd receiver in Marquez Callaway as a 1. You got Deontay Harris, who probably would have been a 4. You got him as a 2. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for us to just sit up here and just be like, oh, man, they should have got this, because they probably went into the season thinking that their wide receiver group was going to be, adamant enough to go out there and handle their business, but they couldn't, man. You got anything else before I let you go?
No, that's it, man. You have a good day.
All right, T-Lo, take it easy, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, they probably just thought that they had their receiving group, but it just didn't turn out that way. Piano Theme, thank you very much for $5. Says, TJ, it was a rough day. I was really excited last week, but I was telling myself it's just one game. And this week I'm telling myself the same thing. Yeah. Football is the battle of emotion, man. Like, 1 week you may be way up here because you're so excited about what you saw. And then the next week, I mean, you be at the lowest of the lows, man. So yeah, it was rough, man, but I still say we better than the Falcons, so that's good enough for me. T. Smitty, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. So what you thought about the game today?
Well, obviously, I'm a Bucks fan.
Yeah.
And like, all right, I bet on the Panthers, so they made me some money today. So I can't tell them all take her out. So but because I'm one of those ones who thought it was best for them to move on from him because sometimes you need a fresh start.
Right.
But at the same time, people who don't watch the game gonna blame him. And I listen to the sound. I'm like, why are we getting mad over someone throwing a pick when you're down 26-7 3 minutes ago? Game over.
Right.
Who cares? Right. If you take that, the game you lost anyway.
Right.
But there was times where he did a play action fake, Winston, turned around and got hit in the face.
Yep.
What was supposed to do? And nobody got open.
Nope.
You can't do it. He tried to hold the ball, but no one got open.
Yep.
So that's just why he's been throwing for 100-something yards these past 2 games.
Right.
No one's getting open. These teams see that.
Right.
And I think although that's the big thing with you guys, is that y'all don't have a receiver who could separate, not even on a quick pitch or a slant. It can't even get, and that hurts because if he blitz, he's supposed to have a hot route, someone goes quick. No one's doing that. And that hurts. And so they could key on Kamara. They know Armstead's a turnstile right now. And then you got the missing coaches, some of these missing players. And plus you got the living out of a suitcase for the past month.
Right.
And plus, I think what happens, everyone's going to have a stinker. Heck, Tom Brady last year when my Bucks were throwing picks when he got pressured. Heck, he fumbled today when the guy came in and sacked him. You know?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold did one crazy.
Right.
And so I just think people are just I see a lot of Bucks fans like, see, he threw a pick. Same old guy. Everybody's going to throw picks. Everybody's going to do bumping head plays of pressure. You just have to minimize it. And when a game is lost like this, I wouldn't trip. But I don't know what you guys could do, to be honest, besides wait for you guys to get healthy.
Well, I think a lot of it had something to do with the fact that what you said about the wide receivers not getting separation. And that leads to man-to-man coverage. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when you playing man-to-man coverage, you can come with all different type of exotic blitzes in order for you to get home, because like teams don't respect these receivers. I mean, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, they're just going to have to like lean on the running game, and it's probably just going to be like some low yardage games for Jameis Winston in order for them to try to win. But they cannot like fall behind in some of these games, because that just falls into the hands of the defenses. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to pressure Jameis Winston, and we know when you pressure Jameis, he's going to end up like trying to make decisions and try to, win a game in one play. And they know that. And that's what teams are going to start to realize. So hopefully they can find that out before it gets to that point, man.
Yeah, and I know before I run, say, hey, you do good work, man. I got to give you props on that.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
I like you. Yeah, because you guys aren't the hot take media. You actually talk about real stuff. I hate the hot take media, but I think what it shows is that, like, even if Drew Brees was still here, he would have gotten his butt kicked today. Taysom Hill, he would have gotten his butt kicked today too. So everybody likes to point at the quarterback. It is a team effort.
Right.
And it like Adam Troutman, for example, I saw it. He missed like 2 or 3 blocks that got Jameis Winston popped.
Right.
And if he did your job like Belichick always preached, he might have gotten open. Someone might have gotten open, may have run for something. Right. But if I know Jameis Winston is podcast, but if I was advising him, I would tell him, don't worry about making a mistake. Just run, pass, throw it up. If you're scared to make a mistake, you're going to make one. But I just want to commend you on the good work, man. Yeah, you have a good one.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm not sure if Jameis watched this podcast, but I know his dad does, because I converse with him quite a bit, man. But, man, thank you so much, T. Smitty, man. And, good luck to y'all this season. I don't know what the score is of the game. I know you all are playing right now against the Falcons. So I don't know what's up with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure y'all about to beat them down. So I really do appreciate it, man. Call back anytime, brother.
Hey, you have a good one, bro.
All right, you too, man. Yeah, man. I mean, look, it comes from another team, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. Like, some people, like, we don't like when people that are fans of other teams tell us certain things, but it is what it is. They cannot get separation. They cannot, you know what I'm saying? That people are going to play man coverage, and unless this offensive line changes their ways, it's going to be a rough season for Jameis Winston, at least to week 6 until Michael Thomas get back, and maybe, the passing game would be a little bit better. We're going to go to King Arthur. What's going on, man?
Man, what's on with you, bro?
Man, nothing much. What you got for me?
I tell you what I do have. I have receipts. I'm keeping receipts of all the people who jumping off the bandwagon, waiting for this man to make one mistake so they can say, "Oh, I told you so." Oh yeah, keep that same energy, bro. Because by week 8, when we 6-2 or something like that, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear no prayers. I don't want to hear nothing. TJ, I didn't even watch the game, bro. But I looked on Bleacher Report and I was following the little live thing. You know what I'm saying? Where it tell you each play, and I pieced together what was happening.
Right.
Based on that. And I just listened to the last caller. Everything he just said, bro, is what I was thinking. I was like, that O-line must be playing trash, because Alvin Kamara, I keep seeing 1 and 2 yards. I even saw a -7 yard rush from him. I was like, man, that offensive line must be getting a butt whooping. Them receivers must not be getting no separation. I don't care if you got Joe Montana back there, bro. He's going to get killed. If the O-line is back there missing blocks, Adam Troutman. If the O-line is missing blocks, play action fake, you got somebody right in your face as soon as you turn around, but you want to blame things on Jameis?
Yeah.
Like
it had a lot to do. But Keen Arthur, it had a lot to do. It had a lot to do with the fact that you had two guys that were playing out of position, like Throckmorton. You know what I'm saying? He normally plays, if I'm not mistaken, right guard. They shift Andrews Pete over there. So they put him, you know what I'm saying, in between Caesar and Armstead. And I think that played a role too, because I think they put him next to Armstead, so Armstead could be able to, you know what I'm saying, to call out, you know what I'm saying, where the pressure was coming from. So you're thinking about, okay, you're telling this dude to block this way, and at the same time, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, block, you know what I'm saying, the person that you need to. I just think that was the issue. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's why they played so bad. It was just a combination of a bunch of guys that's not used to playing together.
Okay, I can go with that, TJ. And know what else I seen, bro? Mm-hmm. Overall, the defense had to have played well, bro. If the offense constantly not giving you nothing and you holding people to 17 points, like you bending but you're not breaking, you hear me? Because this really could have been a rout.
Yep.
I mean, it basically was, but it really could have been a rout like we did the Green Bay Packers. You know what I'm saying? Your defense kept you in it all the way through the third quarter.
Right.
But if your offense ain't giving you nothing, them boys tired.
Yep.
Not to mention you missing all these key pieces, but I'm giving Carolina their credit, bro. Them boys showed up to play. I ain't making no excuses. We need to play better. Carolina showed up to play. You heard me?
Yep. I ain't blaming them. You know, because some people are like, oh man, this happened. This happened. The Hurricane Ida. You know, they living out a suitcase, and like if the Saints would have won this game today, people would have been using this stuff as motivation. So don't try to use this as an excuse now that they lost the game, because you was ready and prepared to use it as ammunition to talk about how good this team is. This team, no excuses. They lost today because Carolina played better than them. They played more inspired football than them. They had more energy than the Saints. It is what it is, man. You just got to call a spade sometimes, even when you don't want to. Carolina looked better than the New Orleans Saints today. They played better than the New Orleans Saints, and they were a better football team. That's pretty much what I got to say.
And that's all I'm saying, bro. I ain't taking nothing from them people. We got to make a lot of plays. I don't know what we need to do, but Kenny Stills need to get his butt in that wide receiver room like ASAP.
Somebody.
Because I know he's a route runner. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Marquez Callaway, they already know that you having a little breakout or whatever, so they paying more attention to you. They're probably gonna double you and just clamp the rest of them. Yep. Deontay Harris, as quick as your feet is, bro, there's no reason you shouldn't be getting away from people. None. But hey, man, like I said, credit to the Carolina Panthers, bro. I know it's crazy. I think I said it today. I said this might be a trap game. You know what I'm saying? Considering everything we're dealing with, but forget all that. Carolina, they have a decent defense. So this could end up being a trap game, but I still expected us to win this game like 30-17 or something like that.
Yeah, me too.
But know what's crazy though? I think next week against New England, I think we're gonna show out. For some reason, I got a feeling we're gonna show out against New England.
Well, I hope so because I know this team is better than 7 points.
Right, but I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Go ahead, do your thing, man. I'm about to go give me a cool cup. My blood pressure high.
All right, man. You take it easy.
All
right. Yeah, man. Keen Arthur. Oh man. Look, this is about as bad as it gets, so it can't get no worse than this. So it is what it is. Let's see. Let's go to Chosen. Chosen, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Yeah, how you doing, man? What you thought about the game today? Can you hear me?
It gave, yeah.
No, I said, I can hear you. I said, what do you thought about your thoughts on the game today?
Yeah, man, like it made me happy, but at the same time, I seen some things. I take that back. It made me upset, but also made me happy because I see some things. TJ, despite the offense and the defense and the mishaps with the line, this was a winnable game, to say the least. I feel like it was a winnable game. I feel like at pivotal moments where we could have got a spark, some of the play calling kind of threw that down the drain. That 4th and 5th, going for it, we should have just got 3 points on the board, and that was a whiff. I felt like if you was going to run a play, you should have ran that play with Taysom like you started to do when you wanted to get a jump start. Because if you see on that next following play when we got the ball, I think he rushed for 8 for 9. So I feel like if that's what you wanted to do, I feel like we should have used Taysom more. You know, I understand that he our only backup quarterback, but I feel like some Taysom plays, I feel like he should have been used more in this game. I mean, apparently Kamara couldn't do nothing. Tony Jones couldn't do nothing, but I felt like Taysom could have created that spark for us, man. He used to get us out of these situations all the time. So I'm looking at Sean Payton like, man, where these plays at? Where these spark plays at? You know what I'm saying? Right. But also, man, the offensive line, they're gonna be better. They're gonna be better. I don't never see this team going, knock on wood. I don't never see this team going back to back like that. The discipline wasn't there. Too many penalties on both sides. It's loud. You can tell that the crowd was in the game. You know what I'm saying? You can tell. And I'm just glad that this defense showed me what they showed me, because this game, like he going to say, man, this game could have really got out of hand early. And the fact that I'm looking at it that we're going into the third quarter and it's still 17-0 when it easily could have been 30-0, it gave me some hope. And they went down, got the touchdown drive, and had an opportunity again. But once again, play calling, I feel like play calling kind of killed our momentum. I mean, on turnovers too, we blocked the field goal, man. And what a nice return. And I was just talking noise before that play about Zach Bond. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, justifiably so, man. Look, that was a good play. That was a good play. Don't get me wrong, but he still stunk it up all game. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, look, bro, look. You can't put cologne on that mustard body, bro. I'm sorry. That was just that's like you trying to put some Kenny Cole Black, you know what I'm saying, on a mustard body. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Oh yeah, it's like, but we can't wait with that. You know, that was a big mom said, man, they're gonna spark, they're gonna turn over, it flipped the field with nothing.
Nope.
We can't wait with nothing. Then we got the little interception fumble when Sam threw it right into the defender. I forgot who got it. Roach. I think that was Roach who got it. And we came away with nothing. You see what I'm saying? We have to. We talk about us not getting turnovers, but now we need to talk about doing something with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was no excuse. That was an easy 6 points to say the least. So now you're looking at a ball game at least 10-17 or 14-17. I like those odds, but man, that's what I took away from the fact, knowing that this defense, they fought. You know what I'm saying? They did all they could do despite the offense, you know what I'm saying, not being able to pick up that extra slack. But I feel like we're gonna turn it around. I know Sean Payton gonna get into that, you know what, all week.
Right.
Good guys, bro. They never had these back-to-back games. I'm looking for Kamara to do more. I'm just looking for the offensive line to bind together, gel together. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go on the road. We got another tough one. I don't know why they love giving these back-to-back road games.
Right.
But we're gonna do what we gotta do. It's on the schedule, so we gotta do what we gotta do. But I'm looking for us to have a bounce back game. And like I said, I'm not ready to jump off ship. I'm not ready to jump ship. It's just one game. Just like last week, I wasn't ready to crown Jameis the best thing since sliced bread.
Right.
I'm not ready to do it again this year, to call this man trash and he's a bust. Like, no, man, it's still 1-1. It's better than being 0-2. And like I said, we need these mistakes, bro, because we hadn't, after coming off a game like that, it's hard to find mistakes you did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You when they look at that film against Green Bay, what they gonna say we did wrong? I'm pretty sure some things, but you mostly gonna be like, bro, we tore their ass up. I mean, they not gonna come out and say it in the PR and everything, but you know, amongst each other, man, we did them. It wasn't nothing they can do. But now you get these mistakes, you can see what you could work on, and I'm glad we got that on film. Like you say, burn it up, and we just gonna get better week in, week out. But that's all I got, man. I appreciate you for the time, bro.
Yeah, Chosen. Thank you so much for your take, man. I appreciate it, man. Call back anytime.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. You know, there's the old saying, you're not as good as they say you are, you're not as bad as they say you are. And the best thing for you to do in order for you to capitalize on your success is to don't read your press clippings. For you to become better in your failures is don't read the press clippings, because I feel like this. There's an article being written about you that's positive and negative, ready to be hot off the press. Depends on if you win or if you lose. So I wouldn't read either one of them. They just got to bounce back, man. It happens. And I'm not tripping about this, because the Saints do this all the time. Like, the Saints, I think we went like a few years like without winning a week 1 matchup. And then, you know what I'm saying, the Saints will go like 0-2 for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? Like, them winning week 1 is very rare. You know what I'm saying? They don't win week 1 very often. They always start off maybe 1-1, 0-2. So they always start a little sluggish. And then you have to account for the fact that a lot of these guys in the secondary were new. Like Paulson Adebo, Desmond Trufant, Bradley Roby, brand new. The only person that was out there that was like consistently have been on this defense is Malcolm Jenkins. No, not Malcolm Jenkins. Marcus Williams and PJ Williams. Those like the only two that was out here in the secondary that have been here for at least 4 years, at least 3 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like Malcolm Jenkins just came back. Paulson Adebo, rookie. Bradley Roby, he just been able to practice, I think, Tuesday. Desmond Trufant going into his second week with the team. So, of course, you're going to have some communication issues. You know, so, I mean, this is not the same guys that you go out there and roll out on the field with that you know their tendencies. And I think it showed in this game. Hey, TJ, how can I call in? Give me the number. Okay, I'll send a link in a few minutes. Let me read a few of these comments. First. Let's see. You all thinking Jameis was going to win MVP too. This is just a bad game. You know, like, that's all I don't understand. Like, y'all expect this man to throw 4 and 5 touchdowns every game? I mean, John DeShazer was on the show earlier this week. Shouts out to John DeShazer. JD said, he said, I hope people don't expect for this guy to just go out here and be throwing 5 interceptions every week. You know, and I hope that Saints fans are patient with him. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, that's why you have to reserve your judgment. That's why when people was like, when I was saying like the team will go 11-6, people like, man, you tripping when you say 11-6. I'm like, just because they go out there play like they, you know, like man on fire one week, don't mean they ain't gonna have slip-up games. It happens, man. Like, that's why, you know, you gotta take it week to week. You know what I'm saying? And go by what you see. And what you see can get you excited. You're fans. We're fans, right? You get excited to watch these guys when everything is going right and they just out there clicking. It's an amazing thing to watch. But it's very, very important for you not to fall into the trap to just think that what you see is just going to be something that's going to happen every single week. I mean, it happens, man. Teams get better every single week. The worst team can beat the best team. That's just how it works sometimes. Aqua says, yeah, y'all thought Jameis was the savior, thought the defense was going to lay a smackdown, and y'all laid eggs. Well, look, it happens. You know what I'm saying? It was just a bad game. And the thing about it is, I mean, the defense, you know what I'm saying, lost a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like that's one of them situations where a team caught a team at the right time. No passing you. No Marcus Davenport. No Quan Alexander. No Marshawn Lattimore. No CJ Garner-Johnson. Like that, man, that is like, those are some key pieces on this team. Very key pieces, you know, and then, you know what I'm saying, you're missing Eric McCoy too. You know what I'm saying? Eric McCoy is the center of the team. You know what I'm saying? His job is like really, really important. Like really, really important. It is important for you to have your center. Like to have playing a game with a backup center. Nah. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. That's tough. Because you know, the center have to know, you know what I'm saying? They got to know like they got to know like different defense. They got to know where the pressures are. Like in order for them to call it out. If you're playing with a backup center, might be hard for that guy to be able to do the same thing. So losing Eric McCoy is huge. Ghostface, thank you very much for the $5. Says some of these so-called fans should be ashamed of themselves. Look, I can understand people. Like I don't even think it's like wishy-washy fans. These are the fans that want to have their moment in the sun. This is the fans that's coming out today. These are the I told you so fans. These are the fans that you couldn't find last week. These are the fans that I asked to call in and chime in, but they were nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying? Like now they feel like they're having their moment in the sun. But I just say, man, you got to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna have a take on something, have that take. You know what I'm saying? Even when it sounds like you crazy having that take. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you're not going to do that, then you can't say nothing to me. Things why Jameis made a statement that McCoy is going to be in Ruiz's ear, but Ruiz plays the same way when Brees got hurt. Yeah, but I mean, was he the center though? And look, and T, look, I got to get this man a pass on that one. The man was blocking. That man was going up against Aaron Donald. Like, come on, man. Like the best guards, centers in the league can't guard this dude. Like, this is Aaron Donald we're talking about. So I'm gonna give him a pass on that one. You know what I'm saying? And also, you know what I'm saying, the defensive line of the San Francisco 49ers, they're one of the best right there. So I guess I don't know if you're talking about the thumb or the crack rib. I assume you're talking about the crack ribs. But you know, man, it happens, man. It happens. It happens. That's just the way it goes sometimes. It's just so it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it happened, but hey, they'll bounce back from it. TJ, people are hiding in the bushes, waiting for any mistake they can poke fun at, giving weak takes without context. Clearly, they don't know football. Keen Arthur, thank you very much for the $5. Penalties helped us a lot, though. Thanks, Saints. Nah, man, look, Aqua, I think you selling yourself short. Like, I'm serious. I don't even think it's that. Like, I just think like you remove some of those, like you remove maybe 2 of those penalties, y'all still win this game emphatically. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all think you selling your team short. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't like no Homer show here. You know what I'm saying? Well, I just can't give credit what credit due. Like, nah, y'all, it was complete domination, bro. Like, for real. Like, it was complete domination. People want to talk about the referees. That's just the song and dance that we go to when things ain't going our way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some plays where the referees get fully involved and we like, man, that's messed up. Nah, bro. When you getting your behind whoop, and you know what I'm saying, in the middle of that behind whooping, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, you get a welch on your behind, you know what I'm saying, like, it's still, like, you know what I'm saying, like, it really don't matter. You know what I'm saying, a butt whooping still gonna commence. You know what I'm saying? So they got whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got whooped. Ain't got nothing to do with no penalties. I ain't trying to hear nothing about, man, with a penalty. Nah, bro. That ain't it, man. They lost. Bro. It was just a bad game all around. Horrible. Just wasn't a good look, man. The fans you couldn't find last week, thank you very much for the $2 says we having our moment in the sun now. I'll say, but, you know, those the ones that feel like, you know, man, I don't care who was back there. You can have your guy who people feel like should have been back there, Taysom. You could have had Taysom back there, but I think it would have still been the same. It would have been the same result. You could have put Drew back there and it would have been the same result. The blocking was trash. Trash. I don't care who was back there. You could put Tom Brady back there. You can put Joe Montana back there. Steve Young, Peyton Manning, anybody you can find, you know what I'm saying, that can throw that football. Patrick Mahomes. Bruh, he would have had a rough game. You all keep saying Drew had bad games. It's funny, of course he did, but Jameis has never, a winning quarterback and has 5 years of turning the ball over at a high rate, and you guys think he will be magical. He didn't have 5 years of turning the ball over at a high rate. That's not true. That ain't true. You know, like, I mean, the one, you know what I'm saying, year that everybody talks about is the 2019 season. But you look at this dude's stats, you know what I'm saying? 1 year, he had 11 interceptions, 14 interceptions, you know what I'm saying, 13 interceptions. See, the thing about it is we equate great superstar quarterbacking to guys that have single-digit interceptions, and that's what we feel like the standard is. But you have good quarterbacks, middle-of-the-road quarterbacks that can still lead teams to Super Bowls who have double-digit interceptions. See, people just throw that 30 touchdown, 30 interception season up, and it just trumps everything that dude did. But that dude didn't always have, and I'm talking Jameis Winston. I don't want to keep on saying that dude, but Jameis Winston is the guy, you know, like that. He didn't always throw, you know what I'm saying, 20, 25, 30 interceptions. And I just think that's what people think about the guy. You know, for people you talking about, oh, man, he threw 15, 16 interceptions. I can say the same thing about Drew Brees. Drew Brees threw 18 interceptions one season, almost close to, I want to say almost 20 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. And he's the greatest New Orleans Saint of all time. So all I'm saying is this, man. We can talk about these interceptions all day, all night, all afternoon, all evening. The fact of the matter is the interceptions that he threw really didn't matter. To be honest with you, it wasn't like, oh, it cost the Saints the game. The Saints were out of it. It was almost like, if I'm not mistaken, if I can go back to Thursday night last week. So Tom Brady throws a Hail Mary into the end zone to end the quarter. He throws a pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't matter. Like, are people gonna sit up there and be like, man, he just threw this pick? Like, he threw a Hail Mary that ended up being an interception. So I don't know, man. I don't think none of the passes that he threw today that turns out to be interceptions were going to cause the Saints to, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's just going to lead to this magical comeback. The Saints were going, like, to me, the way Carolina was playing and the way that offensive line couldn't hold ice water, they weren't going to win this football game. I am so hurt, but like my granddaughter says, it's only the second game of the season. Yeah, man. I mean, we want the Saints to win. We want the Saints to win all the time, but that's not always going to be the case. AK looked disinterested today. That 4th and 1, you got to fight for the extra yards. Look, I just think that he probably, was frustrated. He probably was frustrated. I mean, probably didn't get a chance to get no rhythm. He had 8 carries. Hard to get in the rhythm. What about TJ? What about putting you back there? Yeah, you talk about 2 interceptions. She might have 5. Put me back there. I know, T-Mama. The Pats are differently going to play man-to-man next week. We need to get it together. Yeah, they're going to play man-to-man, which plays into the strengths of any defense right now because, the Saints having issues getting separation from these wide receivers. I say, man, look, I don't know what Kevin White can do, but he can't do no worse than what I've seen out there when it comes to these guys getting separation. TJ, who that 92 is a post-Super Bowl fan. Please don't read any more of his comments. Oh, I just put it like this, man. I just think that you have people that have their agendas and their reservations about the dude, and they just praying on this dude to fail. And that's sad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's sad if that's how you feel about it. Brees had bad games. Winston is going to bounce back. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like we're comparing this dude to Drew. Every single pass he makes, every single drive he takes, every single thing that he does, we compare it to Drew Brees and what he actually does. But he's not Drew. I just want this guy to be efficient. But I just think that he's behind the 8 ball in the eyes of some Saints fans because he can make the littlest mistake and it's going to be amplified. I mean, because some of you don't want him to be here anyway, like y'all like some people want this guy not to pan out so the Saints can maybe, I don't know, get Ian Book in the game, maybe Taysom or draft somebody else. I don't know, man. Look, all I know is I'm a Saints fan, and whoever they decide to put at the quarterback position, I'm a root for that guy because I want him to be successful. I want him to be able to handle his business. I want him to be able to lead this team to the playoffs. So sitting up there hoping and wishing and laughing and cheering when the dude throw an interception, do you look down at yourself and see you got a Saint jersey on or a Saint shirt? I mean, that's kind of sad right there. Like you want to be right about something so badly that you're even willing to risk your fanhood and fandom to say, oh, I was right, just so you can tell your friends that. Man, you missed me with that. Look, if I give a take about the Saints and I'm just totally wrong and they end up coming on the winning end of my take, I don't care. I will eat crow on that because I don't want to pick against the Saints in no capacity at all. Chris says we got our asses kicked, plain and simple, lost in the trenches. Panthers dominated. Bad day at the office, to say the least. That's all I'm saying. Like I just, I just can't do it, man. I don't want to be like one of them fans. I don't want to be one of them fans, Chris. I don't want to be one of them fans that just blame everybody else and not just look at the big picture. Like, and I don't want to discredit the Carolina Panthers because they played well today. So, and I'm not going to use any type of excuses because, like I said, if they would have won today, we would have came on here. I would have had the lines wide open, and everybody would have came on here. The Saints, they without their coaches. They had about 4 or 5 coaches on the team that traveled with the team. Lattimore was out. CJ Gardner-Johnson was out. We'll be up there praising this team because of the limitations that they went into the game with, and they overcame it. So can't have it both ways. Can't use it as an excuse and then use it as motivation if they was to win. No. TJ, you can have Jerry Rice on the outside. If line not right, you got a problem. I agree. I mean, it all starts in the trenches, ladies and gentlemen. It all starts in the trenches. Like, if it's the battle in the trenches. So if your offensive line getting whooped by a defensive line, vice versa, offensive line whooping the defensive line, you're gonna have a bad day. And I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad either. I'm not mad. I'm really not mad. I'm not mad about this game. I'm not. I don't think you should either. You know, I just think that this was a dose of reality, man. You know, but I do feel like a conversation needs to be had with Jameis when it comes to like not putting everything on himself. I do feel like a conversation needs to be made about that, because that scares me. You know what I'm saying? That's concerning. Like, because I'm really starting to feel, and I'm hoping that this is wrong, but I'm hoping that it don't get to a point where teams jump on the Saints, they try to dominate the Saints, they get a lead, and then they hope Jameis try to win the game, and they just know that, you know what I'm saying, they put pressure in their face and have them rattled and confused and dazed, and he just throws that ball up there. You know, that's what I don't want. But I also think that this is a wake-up call too, for the New Orleans Saints to run the doggone football the way that they did last week, to set up those play action and those deep shot passes. That's what I think they need to do. They need to run the football. The Saints have got to revert themselves to a run-first football team to set up some of those down-the-field plays on the play action on the road out with Jameis. If they don't, then it's going to be rough for them dudes. Like, they cannot go out there looking to throw the ball all over the place. They gotta get to that point first. They got to get to that point. But I want to take this moment to say thank you to the fine folks at Manscaped.com. Go to Manscaped.com, use the promo code State of Saints. You will save 20% off. Once again, Manscaped.com. Use the promo code State of Saints, and you will save 20% off. And also want to thank the fine folks at MyBookie.com. Go to mybookie.ag. You can place $10 down if you want to win a chance to win a $500,000 grand prize. You can use the promo code State of Saints. That's SOS. You'll get a discount on that. So you put $10 down on a game, you enter a chance to win $500,000 from mybookie.ag. Let's look at some of these stats. Folks. Jameis Winston, 11 of 22, 111 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 4 times. Worst quarterback rating of his career, 26.9. He had a rushing touchdown, which was an 8-yard touchdown. And then you had like some of these other guys. Lil Jordan Humphrey, 1 catch, 27 yards. Alvin Kamara, 4 catches, 25 yards. Juwan Johnson, 1 catch, 23 yards. Chris Hogan, 1 catch, 16 yards. Deontay Harris, 1 catch, 9 yards. Marquez Callaway, 2 catches, 8 yards. Ty Montgomery, 1 catch, 3 yards. I mean, this not gonna do it, man. This ain't cutting it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna cut it. Like, this is awful, man. This is awful stuff right here. Like, your whole entire wide receiver group, pass catching group, accounts for 11 catches. 11. Like, Michael Thomas can get that in a quarter. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look, they need some help, man. They need some help in a major way. I don't see Sean Payton taking this laying down. I really don't. But before we move forward, and I'll read some more of these comments, going to do the Manscaped giveaway. The first person, y'all know how we do it if you were here last week. The first person that gives me the answer to this trivia question by going to state of the saints at gmail.com. That's state of the saints at gmail.com. You will win a prize. And today's question is, what did the New Orleans Saints give up to acquire Ricky Williams in the 1999 NFL draft? That's the question. What did the Saints give up to acquire Ricky Williams in the NFL draft? All right. First person that gives me that answer, you will win a gift from Manscaped.com, stateofthesaints@gmail.com. And I look, I don't want to hear, I see some people writing the whole draft. No, I need you to put into like what it actually was. Like, what did they actually give up with first round, third round? Like, I need you to put it in complete context. Okay. The first person that gives me that answer will get a gift from Manscaped. And also what I need you to do, if you give me an answer, make sure that you put your name and your address down, because somebody won last week and they didn't never respond back to me. They didn't give me their information. So make sure when you put your answer down, make sure that you put your name and your address and location. So when I do announce the winner, I can be able to mail that out to you. We're going to read a few more and then we're going to get up out of here. Let's throw it back up. Who led the team in rushing? Jameis Winston. He had 19 yards rushing. This game could be a blessing in disguise. Just saying. Boy, I tell you, boy, God works in mysterious ways. I ain't panicking this soon. Y'all crazy trying to get rid of Winston in week 2. He has way more upside than Taysom Hill. Yeah, man, it was just a bad game. Put someone else at center. Early season losses are pretty common each year under Sean. Thank you, K-Weed. One loss definitely isn't the end of the season. If our receivers can create some separation, then our offense will hopefully start clicking. They need to find something with that and fast, man. That's the biggest issue that I see with the Saints that I feel like that can't get corrected. That's what I see. That is the one thing to me I see that is on the Saints team that bothers me. You can have all the skilled players, but if you block people, it doesn't matter. They could open holes for the running game. Look, man, all I know is this. You need stars. You need stars, man. You need playmakers. You need guys that can go out there and make plays. All right, look, I look at people like Danny, Danny Green, Kyle Korver. I'm talking basketball now. I'm people like Dan Marley back in the day, Ray Allen, in his later years. You have those guys out there that can make that big shot. A person that you dish the ball out to, shoot threes and all that kind of stuff. That's cool. But you need that guy. You need that LeBron, right? You need that AD. You need that Zion. Like you need that Steph Curry. You need a playmaker. You also need players around you. But at the same time, ain't nobody looking for those players to average 27, 28 points a night. They looking for Dame Dollar to do that, right? They looking for Giannis to do those type of things. The Saints need that type of player. That's just what it is. And it's no disrespect to those guys. There's no disrespect to the skilled and the role players of the team. They can make plays, and their plays are exciting too. But you need somebody out there that can make plays in order to keep the defense honest and keep the defense guessing and have a certain level of respect from the defense, that the defense stays up at night trying to scheme to try to stop and neutralize you. And if you don't have that at the wide receiver position, it is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem, man. You need players that are going to get separation. Honestly, I don't know what the Saints can do about it. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, bro. I do not know what the Saints can do about this. I really don't. I really don't. This is a tough situation to have when you're going through a transition like this, right? Because I'm pretty sure that Sean Payton pretty much thought that he was going to have Michael Thomas back there to be able to go back there and help Jameis Winston, be able to, get through this process. But what do you do when you don't even have not only Michael Thomas, but Traquan Smith, the two guys that you thought for sure that he was going to be able to lean on? It's tough. And I can't knock Lil Jordan for that. I can't knock Deontay for that. I can't knock Marquez Callaway for that either. You have to be able to find guys that you can put in positions to succeed, that can win those one-on-one matchups when that man-to-man coverage arrives. If you don't, I mean, if I'm a team, I'm just trying to shut down Alvin Kamara because I mean it's him. It's the Alvin Kamara show. Straight up. It's Alvin Kamara and everybody else. Why are we dwelling on early regular season losses? This is not the playoffs. I don't know why people dwelling on it, and making it seem like it's just the worst thing ever and the sky is falling. Man, check this out, Chicken Little. The sky is not falling. It's not over. Of course, we have to break down this game. I mean, it's week 2. It happened. And we just going to learn from it. You just keep it moving. Call in Goldface. I want to hear your take on the game. My mom telling Goldface to call in. Let me see. Like I said, you have to send that to me in an email, stateofthesaints@gmail.com. I can't read it because that's not fair. Okay. So first person that send me the answer to my email will receive a gift from Manscaped. And like I said, make sure you send your name and your information along with your answer. No, bro, before he threw the ball, defense was in Winston's face. He had no blocking. O-line played like trash. I don't care who the wide receivers or running backs are. Yeah, DLP, I mean, you right about that. I mean, they played like hot garbage. It did, but this isn't like this is just something that I seen today. I seen this last week. Like, go look at my Twitter feed last week. I talked about, like, I'm not one of these people because I feel like that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's just people whining and whining and complaining. They look at some of the worst things that they can find. And, you know what I'm saying? And if something is going bad, they bring it up. I was saying this in a victory. I was saying this when they were beating up on the Packers. Like, we was up there praising Jawan Johnson and Adam Trautman, but I was like, man, God dog, like, where the receivers at? Like, ain't nobody getting open. Callaway wasn't getting open. Deontay Harris got open like for that big 55-yard touchdown, but Lil John Humphreys didn't get open. Ty Montgomery didn't get open. So it's not like this is like something that, I mean, I thought this was an issue since last week. I'm serious. I just think that it's apparent now because the Saints lost, because people have a tendency of looking at things that go wrong when a team or a situation is at its lowest. You know, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. We always look at the worst of the worst when things get bad. When things get good, that's when everybody wants, oh, you just complaining, man. We won. Put your feet up, man. Put your feet up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to put our feet up. We want to be all happy. We won't complain. We want to put our hands behind our head and chill. But, dude, like, it's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you look up at your ceiling and they have like this little leak, you know what I'm saying? A little small leak that's coming in there. And it just dropped every 2-3 minutes. And you're like, oh, it ain't that bad, man. It ain't that bad of a leak. Then all of a sudden, like, you know what I'm saying, a couple of days later, the leak can go from 5 minutes to 2 minutes. And then from 2 minutes, now it's dripping every minute. Now it's dripping every 30 seconds. That is how it works. Like, you don't wait till the hole gets at its worst, you know what I'm saying, for you to patch up this roof. You do it right now. You do it when it's not that big of an issue. You know what I'm saying? Before it becomes a big of an issue. You know what I'm saying? You don't wait. You know what I'm saying? If your engine light is on, you don't wait, you know what I'm saying, till your car break down for you to go to the shop. Well, you shouldn't. I mean, some of us do. But but you shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? You should address the situation right there, because you don't know, by riding around, it would allow any type of long-term situation to happen with your car. And it'll end up costing you more money down the line than it probably would you doing it right then and there, because it was probably one little part that you needed in order to make it right. But now you have to go out there and spend a whole bunch of money, hundreds of dollars, in order for you to fix a huge part, because you didn't want to fix that small part. The Saints, looking at this wide receiver group for the last couple of weeks, I've said these guys are having issues with getting separation. The Saints need to address that. They addressed it by getting Kenny Stills, who I feel like would be, you know what I'm saying, adequate receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he can do some stuff in the slot. but I still don't feel like this is going to answer the question. Kenny Stills, as good and solid as he is as a receiver, he is not a number one receiver. This is going to be an issue. I don't know what the Saints are going to have to do. I don't know how they're going to do it. But one thing I know for sure, if they don't get this problem fixed, there's going to be some slow singing and flower bringing in a Who Dat Nation. I'm serious. I'm serious, man. It's gonna be bad. TJ, you're definitely right. Our wide receiver corps on the plays and chances that we had, they did not get open, and we did miss out on some opportunities because our receivers not getting open, and I do agree with that. Look, it is what it is, man. It's not to say that these guys aren't good. They're just not number ones. They're not number ones. They're not number twos. They're not number threes, respectively. They're just not. You know what I'm saying? At best, you know what I'm saying? Callaway can be a 2 or a 3. At best, Lil Jordan Humphrey is probably a 3 or a 4. At best, Deontay Harris, as good as he is, he's a 3 or a 4. Twos, or if your wide receiver is down. Like, look, if we talking about twos, CD Lamb is a 2. You know what I'm saying? Like Jalen Reagor is a 2. Guys that can get you 100 yards if the number one receiver is down. You know what I'm saying? Like those are what I consider number twos. Number twos aren't guys who gets one catch for 14 yards. That's not a 2. That's not a 2 to me, man. A 2 is when I see. I look at it like this. I look at Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison was the one, right? Everybody knew Marvin Harrison was going to get the majority of the catches. But Reggie Wayne was a number 2. If Marvin Harrison was out with a hamstring pull, knee injury, Reggie Wayne was going to get those catches, and he's going to go over 100 yards. That is what I see as a number 2. Anybody else is just a role player. And that's what the Saints got. They got a bunch of guys that are a bunch of role players. That role players. They are role players. Good players, but role players nonetheless. Hell, we can get back Dante Stallworth. Nah, man. Good guy. Doing a lot of good work out here in the community, but nah. Peyton Turner was out there bending dudes backwards from the stand-up position. We might have found the next Von Miller. Y'all like him a lot, man. I think he's a good player, and he played solid today. You know, and they got him for this reason alone. They got him for this reason alone because they realized and knew that it was inevitable that Davenport was going to get hurt. Cole Saints, thank you for calling in, brother. I appreciate that too. He says, do you think the Saints should try to promote Kevin White or try to sign Josh Gordon or Dez Bryant? Look, here's my issue right here, Cole Saints. Good guys, good talents. I'm kind of off the fence. Well, I'm not even on the fence at all. I'm off of the Josh Gordon train. Look, I just think that ship is sailed. I just hope like what he has going on is bigger than football. It's bigger than football. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than anything that can be possibly going on the gridiron. He needs to get his life in order. I don't think football is what he needs. If anything, football would be an enabler because it would help him enable his habit that he had or has. I don't know. So I wouldn't go that route. I think the best thing that any NFL team can do for Josh Gordon is not sign Josh Gordon. As far as Dez Bryant is concerned, he did some good things late with the Baltimore Ravens, but any wide receiver that comes in here, Cole Saints, they're going to have to take weeks in order for them to develop the playbook to a point where they can be adequate enough to be a factor on the field. This isn't like some of these fundamentally sound offenses where you sign a guy on Monday, they playing on Sunday because we just need you to run this route. No, the Saints have so many different type of personnel packages, personnel changes and switches. I think they have like up to 14 or 15 personnel changes. Most teams have 6 or 7. So you really have to be knee deep in the playbook in order for you to even get some snaps on the Saints team. There's a lot of audibles. There's a lot of switching. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different route running and directions and stuff like that you have to know about. And I just don't think that this offense is not designed for a person off the street to come in and play right away. Now, the Kevin White situation that you're talking about, look, I ain't seen enough out of Kevin White for me to say that, oh, I don't want to see Kevin White. But from what I've seen as far as separation is concerned, I mean, it can't get any worse than what I've seen. My goodness. I mean, it cannot get any worse. I mean, but one thing I do like about Sean Payton, I know for a fact that he's not one of those coaches that's just going to let a situation continue to happen. He's not one of those coaches. He's going to try to fix this situation the best way possible. And if he can't, then he gonna basically die trying. TJ, everybody talking about the receivers, but you need time to get open. I am concerned about the line Miss Eric McCoy, all-pro center. Look, Troy, I'll be on that. And look, you're entitled to your opinion. And I definitely miss Eric McCoy. But last week, I'm telling you, go back and look at the game. It should be a joyous occasion because the Saints beat up on the Packers. Jameis Winston had all day to throw the football. And yet these dudes could not get open. I'll tell you one play in particular. They had that one play where Jameis Winston had all day in the pocket, looking around. He went through his progressions 3, 4, 5 times. What did he end up doing? He threw the ball out of bounds. Why would he throw the ball out of bounds? Usually, like when you have that much time, you're going to find somebody open because at this particular time, they didn't broke off their route. The route is broken, so they're trying to run to get open. They couldn't even do that. So with that, man, all I'm saying is this is an issue. It's not just something that happened today. It's not just prisoner of the moment. It is something that has been happening for the last couple of weeks. And if they don't get it fixed, whether it's, scheme, whether it's, the route running that they expect these guys to do, it is going to be a problem. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. I really do appreciate that. At least LSU won. You know what I'm saying? My Jackson State Tigers didn't get the win over ULM. Almost won that game, but didn't get it done. And now the Saints, man, look. My final thought is burn that tape. All right, that's my final thoughts. Burn the tape. Watch it, burn it. You know what I'm saying? Bury it so the spirits won't be able to find it. We don't need this game no more. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need to see this no more. Anything that can possibly happen bad, happen. I have to say, I forgot to give the player of the game for the New Orleans Saints. The player of the game for the New Orleans Saints. I mean, it ain't even close. It's Blake Gillikin. Blake Gillikin is the Saints player of the game. The punter. That's right. The punter is the player of the game because this dude was booming them punts. It wasn't his fault. Field position wasn't the issue for him. He was flipping field position for the New Orleans Saints with those 60-yard punts. So Blake Gillikin, you know what I'm saying, the second-year guy out of Penn State is my player of the game because, I mean, he did his job. And dude might end up being an all-pro. He kicking like that. But we move on. You know what I'm saying? We're on to New England. It's going to be a tough game. Bill Belichick, one of the best football minds in NFL history. Saints got to go up there to Gillette, man. It's not an easy place to play. They're going to have Mac Jones out there. He's still learning. They got a very impressive victory on today. And, man, they got to win this football game. They got to find a way to do it, man. We'll break it down later on in the week. Keys to victory, what we've seen in this game, what we don't need to see no more. We'll have some guests on the show later on this week. I'll keep you all posted. And also the next show, I'll tell the person who gives me the answer who's the winner of the Manscaped gift this week. But thank you all so much. Calm down. Everything's going to be just fine. Bad games happen, but at least we not the Falcons. Till next time, all I got to say is, who that?